J-Real. J-Real.
¿Qué pasa, people? Welcome back to the Average Joe Sports Talk Show. I'm your host, J-Real. Welcome to the house. We are so glad that you made it with us today. We're going to have a lot of sports to cover, a lot of topics, hot topics, and we're really excited to get started, so we're just going to go ahead and jump right into it. Now, last week we were talking about some kind of scuffle, some kind of fight that happened in the pits in the NASCAR circuit, and we wanted to get the information and the facts to you, and we were able to do that. The persons involved in the scuffle was Joey Logano and Tony Stewart. Now, this is not the original guys that got in the situations during the race. That was actually Joey Logano and Denny Hamlin. They were bumping and trading paint and just kind of going at it there on the track. They actually end up wrecking each other towards the end of the race. So neither one of them, as they were fighting for first place, ended up in first place. As a matter of fact, Joey Logano ended up placing third, and Denny Hamlin actually ended up getting airlifted out of the track to a hospital. Now, he's doing fine. There has been reports coming out that they're just going to keep him overnight just to monitor his pain and make sure there's no serious internal injuries, I'm sure, or something going on that isn't seen by the naked eye. But he is doing fairly well from what the reports are coming out. Now, this has been going on for a couple of weeks in the NASCAR circuit. A couple of weeks back in Bristol, Hamlin and Logano were kind of going at it, bumping and trading paint, as they say there, really too close for comfort, I guess. And then this week, or last week at the 400 in Fontana, they actually ended up crossing each other. So, interesting what's going on. Tony Stewart, I guess, didn't like what was going on, jumped onto Joey Logano's in his pit area, and they started kind of going at it. So it's kind of interesting to say. Now, what's funny about this is already racers are starting to pick sides. As a matter of fact, Casey Kane is on record saying that he listened to the interview of Tony Stewart, just really kind of giving Logano a lot of his mind, giving him a piece of his mind, chewing him out basically. And Casey Kane said, "Hey, he said all anyone would have to say." That he agreed with it, basically. So this is going to be interesting to see what's going on over the next few weeks. If these guys can get it worked out, kind of interested in myself to see what's going on. Now, real quick, we're going to take a look at the standings in NASCAR for the championship run. And this is what's really interesting. We have Dale Earnhardt Jr. is sitting at first place with 199 points. Now, he hasn't had any wins, but he's placing in the top 5, in the top 10. He's having good finishes, enough to put him at the top. Second place, we have Keselowski, I believe is the way it's pronounced. He's sitting at 187 points. Don't know too much about him. First name is Brad, excuse me. Then you have Jimmy Johnson sitting at 183 points, and we all know about Jimmy. He's a winner, has had a winning race this season so far. Then we got Carl Edwards and Greg Biffle, who are sitting tied for fourth and fifth at 164. So, basically, it's getting off to a good start this year. The season for NASCAR is really interesting, and with all these fights going on, it's actually making for good TV as well. I actually had to go and check out the video clips and see what was going on with this fight, but that's what keeps people interested, and it actually makes people really stay in tune to NASCAR. Not necessarily because we want to see people get hurt, but it just kind of spices things up and gets things going in the NASCAR. So, reiterating and updating from our last show where we didn't have the information about what happened in the fight or who was fighting or where it was or what caused it. Now we know, so we wanted to update you all. We're going to go ahead and take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to jump into NFL and some new information going on here for the Average Joe Sports Talk Show. Really excited about it. But for right now, check out this commercial, and we'll see you on the flip side. See you soon. All right, welcome back to the Average Joe Sports Talk Show. We hope you enjoyed that quick little commercial. Now we're going to go ahead and jump into our sponsors. We appreciate everything they do for us, and we actually have 2 new sponsors coming up. We're not going to give it totally away on this show, but starting next week, I believe we're going to have 2 new sponsors. We're really excited about that, and we'll let you know who those are. We just wanted to kind of give you a little preview that there are some new people coming into the Average Joe Sports Talk Show, so we're real excited about that. But for right now, who do we have? We have the Player Zone. That's right. They have all your needs for sports memorabilia, comic books, toys, collectibles, Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Pokemon, any gaming needs or sports memorabilia, autographed cards, autographed baseballs, cards, Star Wars, comic books, you name it, they have it for you. Again, how do you contact them? You can go to the Facebook page at the Player Zone and actually leave feedback, comments, get in touch with them. Or you can go to riadosomidtown.com, type or click on the Merchant tab, and bam, it'll take you right to the Player Zone in their entertainment section there, and you'll see their webpage. So hit them up, and then we have also Right On Time Airing and Delivery Service. Those are our sponsors as of right now today. We can't thank them enough. But moving on, we're going to go into NFL. So what's going on with the NFL? We have a new member of the crew. That's right. She is from right here in Ruidoso, New Mexico, and her title or her show name will be Raiders Girl. That's right. She's a huge Raiders fan. Don't hold it against her, folks. She's trying her best, but she enjoys the Raiders, which is fine. Everyone has a right to choose their team, love their team, support their team. That's the way we feel about it here. And she will be coming on here soon with us to talk Raiders. What's going on with the quarterback situation with the Raiders? We're really excited to figure that out, and she's going to sit down with us right here in the studio, in the house, and give us her cuts on the Raiders. So we're looking forward to her in the next week or two. We also have to jump into Manti Te'o talk. This stuff is just so aggravating and annoying to me. All I heard on the radio this morning on Sports Talk is how this guy isn't a number 1 pick, how this guy, with his supposedly, made up girlfriend, and what a liar he is, and a coward, and all this crap. This is ridiculous. People, again, this is a 21, 22-year-old kid who was losing face, was embarrassed because he was tricked by somebody, a man. Just put yourself in his situation. If I'm talking to the men out there, relate to this. And women, I'm sure on the other flip side, you can understand too. If you get yourself embarrassed, especially when it comes to someone on the same sex side as you, you're not going to try to make some kind of story, some kind of cover-up, so you're not completely put out on Front Street. I mean, come on. The guy did lie. Yes, he did. Not about his girlfriend, but about finding out about it and finally figuring out that he was duped. That's what he lied about. He was trying to cover and save face from friends and family and just everyone, the public, general public. So we're going to just go ahead and crucify this guy, throw the first stone for any of you that have never made a mistake, never told a lie, never done something embarrassing in your life. And I guarantee you none of you should or could or would ever be able to throw that first stone. So let's just leave the guy alone about this. Let's focus and get to his football. What's going on with his football is the guy came back and ran a 4.640. 4.640, and the guy's a linebacker. That is amazing. Now, it is a big difference between his combine efforts, which was a 4.82. So now you're saying, well, that doesn't seem like that big of a deal, but it is. When you're talking about a 4.6 to a 4.8 in NFL talk, you're talking a big difference. So big ups to him. He's trying to grow. He's doing better. Now, is he a number 1 pick? That's the question. Is he a number 1 pick? Well, everyone's going, well, his last game against Alabama, the guy didn't even show up. So that right there just shows that he's not a top first-round pick or top first pick draft pick. That is insane. Look at the body of work and then make your decision. Let's look at the guy's body of work over all the seasons, all the games, and then ball it all together, make your assessment, make your judgment off of that. One game, and you're going to say, before that one game, this guy was a Heisman Trophy candidate. This guy was a not only first round, first pick of the draft type player. He has one bad game, and now we're going to throw him off the whole list. Now people are saying third round. You're crazy. There's no way in the world that I'm going to let one game make my whole decision, and because of some personal issues, make my whole decision about a possible blue chip player. The guy has played phenomenal. Do we know he's going to make it in the NFL? No, we do not. No one has a crystal ball. No one can say for sure. But in my eyes, from seeing his whole body of work, give the kid a chance. With the salary caps for rookies now, you don't got to sell the whole franchise either for this kid. So I'm hoping, and I'm going to put in my prayers, that whoever takes this guy, especially if it's in the first round, that they do very well, that they are very successful. And who knows, maybe the Ravens are sitting there with the whole depleted defense saying, hey, maybe we give this guy a chance. He could be our future defense. Falcons are making moves like crazy, and we'll get to that in a little bit. Give this kid a chance. Put him on the team. They're that close to winning Super Bowls. Maybe some youth, maybe a little bit of a spark from someone like Manti Te'o can help push him over. There's just so many teams that could use someone with this kid's talent and hopefully do very well. So, anyway, we're really looking forward to him. And personally, this is the only reason why I'm watching the draft this year. You tell me one other player that's worth watching 2-3 hours of guys walking across the stage, putting on a hat, hugging the commissioner, and then walking off. Exactly, nobody. This is the one guy. Manti Te'o is going to be the reason why you're watching the draft this year. Now, hopefully he goes early, but if he does, the draft's going to suck. Because I'm probably going to turn it off or change the channel after he gets picked. So we'll just roll with that, all right? Now, moving on. I believe it was broke by Jay Glazier, who knows everybody. I mean, he's everywhere, UFC, football, any kind of sports. The guy's phenomenal. I have much love for Jay Glazier. Listen to him, read all his stuff, watch him all the time. Even love his Subway commercials. But anyway, I believe he's the one that broke that O.C. Umanera, I believe that's the way it's pronounced. I just call him O. He used to be a defensive end for the Giants. He is now a Falcons. Agreed to a 2-year deal worth $8.5 million. The Falcons are making big moves, getting big names, and I hope this sounds and this translates to Super Bowl. Doesn't mean that. We all saw what happened with the Eagles when they brought on all these superstars and all these big names. They flubbered out. They went away. Nothing big happened. It just kind of like took them right out of the scene. But I don't think that's going to happen with the Falcons. The Falcons are already too good. But as we predicted right here, as I predicted right here, Jay Real predicted, they're going to flood out and they're just going to go away in the playoffs. They're going to just give up and lose to somebody that they should not be losing to in the playoffs. They're going to have a great regular season. Don't get me wrong. They'll win 12 games. 10 to 12 games, minimum. But then when it comes to playoffs, they're going to lose to somebody they have no business losing to. And I just feel strongly about that. Give me your posts, comments, whatever. If you think I'm wrong, we'll be happy to sit down and bring them out. Maybe get you on the show. See what you think about it. So don't hesitate. If you think the Falcons are bust or all-star Super Bowl quality team, let us know. We'll be happy to have you. So, real quick, we're going to wrap up, but we're going to go ahead and take one more break real quick so I can get my next caller. We actually have a caller coming in, and we're going to talk some big talk about WWE. Why? Because it is WrestleMania weekend, and this person's been calling, wanting to talk WWE. And as this show is about, if I could have 10 people a show and you hear very little coming out of my mouth and out of everybody else, that's what we're here for. So this person wants to talk WrestleMania. We're going to take a quick break, get him on the line. So we'll be right back right after this break. Don't go nowhere. A lot of good show left.
Oh, wow, the stuff in the Player Zone is so cool. Oh, wow, they got Magic, sports cards, Yu-Gi-Oh, and I think I see comic books back there. And the Player Zone will even price this stuff for free. Oh, wow. Player Zone will buy, sell, and trade any of this stuff. And what can I get for her?
All right, welcome back from the break. We hope you enjoyed again that commercial. We have some new ones coming up shortly. But we're going to go ahead and wrap up with our NFL talk as we did before the segment before this. We wanted just to reiterate one last thing, that there are a lot of teams making some moves and have some decisions to come up before the draft, which is right around the corner, about who they're going to keep and who they're going to cut, because salary caps are going to take hits and they need to make room, and on and on and on. So real interesting what's going on in the NFL. We'll keep you up to date as the shows go on, and we'll be doing shows giving you updated information on who's going where and what's going on. So stand by for those. Now, we chug along and go right into the NBA. That's right, the Heat lost. They stopped at 27. The streak is over. Now, what does this mean? Jason Whitlock today had a wonderful article. You can go on to foxsports.com, find his article there, Jason Whitlock's. Normally, I don't agree with a lot of these writers, but this guy this time had it right on the money. It's almost like every time I do a show about the Heat, everyone wants to get on to me like I hate the Heat and I'm hating the Heat. It's not that I'm hating them, I'm just not surprised by them. I have no bone in my body, bad will towards them, because that's not what I'm talking about. But I'm also not drinking their Kool-Aid or sniffing their jocks either. You want to know the real about these sports and these teams and these superstars, we're going to give it to you right here. This is the whole deal, and Jason Whitlock said it perfect today. These are not my words. These are someone else that is a huge success in the industry, and I'm just going to quote this guy a little bit, if I may. He goes on to say something like, the Heat are a hot team, they're a great team, but are they invincible and are they the best ever? No. Absolutely not. And I've been saying this before their streak, during their streak, and before the season even started. The Heat are built to be the best. They found the formula for success. They found the formula to be champions and to win championships, and that's what they're going to do. So all the Average Joe Sports Talk Show is saying here, whether you're sniffing the jocks or you're haters of the Heat, this is the simple and plain facts. They're a great team. It shouldn't be a surprise. They should win titles after titles because they have some of the best players. Not one, not two, not three, not four, maybe 5 or 6 with some of their bench guys of the best players in the NBA. So, again, it's not that we hate them, and it's not that we're, maybe a little bit of haterism if you want to call that, and that's fine. We're just saying that we're not so impressed by the Heat, their streak, and their championships. We know that's what they were built for. So, Jason Whitlock goes on to say a few facts about the Heat, and we totally agree with this article. Again, go check it out. It's on foxsports.com. Go under NBA. You'll see Whitlock. You'll see his article. Read it. It's a good piece of writing material, sports material, whatever you call it. I actually enjoyed reading it because it's hit right here to the heart that these guys are great. They are good. But let's just come back to reality here, okay? And so the Heat stop at 27. Why is this streak kind of looked down on today? Because the Chicago team with 2 of their superstars not even in the game, that's right, they were dressed in plain clothes sitting on the bench, was the team to knock them out. Are you kidding me? The 70s LA team that went on that 33 streak, they had to get beat by some of the best players ever to play the game, even Hall of Famers, it took to end that streak of the Lakers. And who did it take to end this streak that's so amazing and so glorious and so just wow? A Chicago Bulls team without two of their superstars. That's not anything about haterism, folks. That's fact. And those guys out there and people out there that are drinking the Kool-Aid and sniffing these guys' jocks, you could try to make every excuse in the book, just like LeBron James did, crying about being pulled down, and this guy's a bull. If you have someone 260 pounds, 250 plus pounds, almost 260, bull rushing you, you're going to do what you got to do to try to make a play. And that's all that was happening. Guys, please. LeBron James is a big boy. He can take care of himself. He can handle himself. And no 130-pound, 150-pound guy should be pushing and bullying him, beating him up. And they did. So what does that tell you? Tells you there's some really flawed characters. The guy needs to mature a little bit more. Stop whining. Start playing. I don't even want to say start playing. The guy's playing out of his mind. Just take the loss, lick your wounds, don't make excuses, and move forward. That's all we're saying. Guy's great, team's great. We'll see him at the end of the year with another championship, and that's fine. But we're going to be real here. We're not going to be kissing up to nobody, and we're not definitely going to be not real with you all. These are the facts. This is not just for me. There's about 3 to 4 writers that have came out and said today their opinion about the Heat, and I agree with them totally, just like I agree with Patrick Ewing, a Hall of Famer, and Stacey King, that's working with the Chicago Bulls right now, that it's going to take so much for this Heat team and for LeBron to step up to the total plateau over his total career, and who knows if it'll ever happen. Time will tell, and we're going to give him that time, but moving on from them, their streak is over. Maybe they'll just be happy with the championship this year. I would, right? Okay, so let's wrap up. We had a great show. We again want to thank the Player Zone for hooking us up here in the house with all this cool stuff. Again, don't hesitate to look them up on Facebook or at riodosomidtown.com. And if you want to get a hold of us here at the Average Joe Sports Talk Show, all you got to do is go to Facebook, Average Joe Sports Talk Show, and you'll get right to us. You can leave us messages, feedback, give us some ideas if there's something you want to talk about. If you want to call in, again, you can reach us through the Player Zone, or if you're really interested, that's right, if you really want to get with us, we now have Twitter. You can get at us at JReal, Twitter at JReal, and you will hit me up on Twitter. And if we get your information, we get your messages, we get your comments, we'll do it right here on the show. Get hooked up with you. You can come on, do a live call-in on our show. Whatever it takes, we want you to get involved, because that's what we wanted this show to be about. So thank you so much. We hope you enjoyed the show. And next week, we have a new sponsor. That is correct. Jeremy De Los Santos. He owns 60 Minute Self-Defense. He is going to be on the show. We're so excited. We're going to be actually going out into the street and hitting him up at his dojo here locally in Ruidoso, New Mexico, and see how you can defend yourself, take care of yourself, keep yourself safe. So for right now, we want to say thank you, all of you in YouTube land. Be sure to come back next week on Tuesday. Check out the new show. Peace and much love. JReal out.
JReal. J